Well, I wasn't going to stream this, but I accidentally hit stream instead of record, so we're gonna do it live. An hour into the accidental live stream. Hello, everyone. I am still Mecha Random 42, still the one, still the only, still the original, still your favorite YouTube consumer advocate, Harpy. We've been talking a little bit about this. The Warner Brothers, pretty much all of their films are going to go straight to streaming and theaters at the same time on their same release date for 2021, the entire year. Not just 3 months, not just 1 month at a time, not just Wonder Woman because it's kind of the most immediate one. No, all of them, including Dune and the fourth Matrix movie. That is kind of the biggest question, or the bigger question here is, well, first off, by these movies going into the theaters and into streaming at the same time, how many people will just want to stay home and not risk, well, first off, risk the, great cough cough toilet paper shortage of 2020, and you're more comfortable in your own home. You can stop the movie. You can pause it when you need to get up and get something to drink or whatever, get a snack. You can be in the comfort of your own home. You can have the volume the way you want it. You can have the light level the way you want it. Your TV's going to look probably just as good as the big screen in some instances, depending on who you are. If you're Tom and have like 7,000 of them. Also, shout out to Tom from Midnight's Edge for that. And that's what I'm talking about. We're talking about him behind his back. Don't tell him. It's okay, he's a friend. You don't have all the people, you don't have little kids running up and down the aisle screaming and crying near you. You don't have people talking throughout the thing, having like a conversation if they're bored. You don't have people on their cell phone if they're bored in the middle of a movie. And let's face it, we are in the day and age where even I have a lot of trouble sitting through an entire movie without wanting to check my phone, without wanting to see what's going on social media or my YouTube channel. And if you guys do like the YouTube channel, please like, subscribe, share. The share button really, really helps. The subscribe button just lets YouTube know that you want to see my channel, and you have a better shot of seeing it if you hit that button than if you just randomly allow YouTube to do its thing. Also, I'm trying to be nicer than that little actress who comes in and inserts herself, that please like the video if you don't keep your comment. No, you can comment all you want. It's fine, whatever. Don't care. I do appreciate comments. Trying to hit 60K. Oh, and if you want to see baking streams, we are going to be making pretty much everything. Cookies. We made cookies yesterday. I'm going to be piping and baking and decorating and designing and, yes, baking things over on the live channel. This is about how much I care about talking about some of these movies. Let's face it. I tend to prefer to give my money to the movies and the properties I'm super excited for. And as a consumer advocate, I like to try and let you guys know if a movie is going to be worth your money. Are they going to insult you? Is it going to be woke? Is it going to be garbage? In the case of something like Dune, you have people like Andre, for example, from Midnight's Edge, saying, and people who've read the script, people like Robert Meyer Burnett from the Burnett Work, people I trust whose opinions and love of Dune far surpass my, you know me, I'm not even a fan of Dune, and please don't make me read the book or anything. I don't want to. I get it. I know enough about sand and...
I don't like sand.
When you have people who love Dune, and are so passionate about it, who have read the script and say, yes, it is good, but then you have the variety articles saying, oh, and it's going to be woke, and it's going to have all these elements. I don't know what to tell you guys, so I'm probably going to have to see it just so I can report back. But hey, I can do it at the comfort of my own home now, and I don't have to go out to a theater and sit there and risk, the great toilet paper shortage of 2020. And if you don't want to do that, that's your choice. It's kind of disappointing, though, that we're in a day and age where I think this might be the final nail in the coffin of the theaters. I think, and unless you're going to like an Alamo Drafthouse sort of movie theater, unless you're going to one of those boutique theaters where they have the RF blockers or whatever blockers, cell signal blockers, that's what it is, so you can't text while you're in the movie or you get thrown out. Unless you're in one of those theaters and are spending a little bit more money for the convenience, I think a lot more people are going to choose to stay home. And I think HBO Max really, really, really needed this if they wanted to compete with all the other streaming places. So HBO Max, let's just take a look at how many subscribers they have. They have a whole 8.6 million as of October. They haven't really gained a whole lot, even with the Snyder Cut announcement. And sorry, Snyder Cut fans, there's a lot of normies who really aren't going to care one way or another. And I know it's a huge win for consumer advocacy, and if you're a fan of the Snyder Cut, that's great news for you. If you really, really want to see what could have been, if you really want to give your favorite franchises a chance, I think having a voice is super important. But it didn't really, I don't think it pushed the envelope that much, and it didn't really get a whole lot of people to subscribe. Not like Disney Plus, for example, that had 73 million subscribers as of October. So when you see that comparison, HBO Max really, really needed something. I'm not a huge fan of streaming services personally anyway. I think most people, if you're like me, you'll watch one for a few months and you'll watch everything you want to see on it, and then you kind of say, hey, I don't want to watch this anymore. Then you go on to a different one. Then after a couple of months of not watching Netflix, for example, you cancel it. You know, or you get really mad at whatever content that they put on there and you cancel it out of spite. That is completely up to you, and I approve your strength and commitment and dollar voting. I am so much an advocate on that, and I'm one of those people. I got mad when they decided to show that movie. You know, that movie that we're all pretty upset by. I was mad at their attitude based on that, and totally understand if people cancel for that's a side tangent. We're going on too many tangents, aren't we? Warner Brothers' entire 2021 film slate: Dune, Matrix 4, the Matrix. We got to talk about that for a second. We've had some news that the Matrix movies are some sort of allegory, some sort of commentary on the lives of the people who made them, the filmmakers. As we all know, the Wachowskis used to be the Wachowski brothers. They are now the Wachowski sisters. That I think is really interesting to see stories and experiences from people who, like, I can't personally identify with what somebody might be going through as a transgendered individual, obviously. And I'm curious to see what they might have to say and what they would put on screen and how their story plays out. I'm very curious about that. Will that mean The Matrix 4 is a good movie, however? We don't know, but that's just one of those things that we got to kind of talk about when we're talking about, are these movies going to be worth it? Are they going to be just corporate cash grabs? Are they going to be focus group, boardroom meeting? Well, we need this token from this demographic, and we need this sort of story arc, and hey, women are popular in 2018, so let's make the female character a lead, or the lead a female character, and let's make it this because this month this is trendy. And that's what I see with a lot of these modern day films. All right, let's run down how many movies and what movies. There was a few I forgot were coming out. When Warner Brothers announced that Wonder Woman 84 would land on the streaming service HBO Max on Christmas, at the same time it debuts in the theater, many expected it to be an isolated case in response to the, great toilet paper shortage of 2021. Absolutely. Like I said earlier, I was thinking maybe they would evaluate by month or by quarter, maybe every 3 months they'd see where we're at as far as, are people even going to the theater? Even let's say we get all the all clear. Who's even going to jump out and be the first person to be like, well, they say it's okay to, and then who's going to be the first person to say, you know what, we're going to go into a big packed movie theater. And that's what's going to be so sad, is that are big packed movie theaters now going to be a thing of the past? I mean, does everybody remember what they felt and the electricity and the excitement in the air watching Endgame when Cap gets the hammer, right? And you just hear everybody cheer around you, and you realize that you're no longer just a single person watching an experience. You're part of something bigger. You're a part of this collective of humanity. But when you're in a giant crowd of people, when you are experiencing something, right? When you're at a sporting event, a concert, a movie, and you're experiencing that, you are feeding off of the energy of the room. And that's a tangible experience that everybody knows is there, but you can't quite measure on scientific equipment. You can't go in and scan the room and say, yes, they're excited now. Now it's all green or purple or whatever energy color they're going to assign to it. But it's kind of a sad thing. But at the same time, you're not going to have a bunch of people screaming at you on their cell phones. I had people, when I saw Halloween in the theater, the remake of that one, not the remake, the sequel, reboot, cool. The one with Jamie Lee Curtis where she came back for that one. I had a guy who was there trying to film the movie and stream it to Facebook live while he was watching it. Right next to me. So you're not going to have those sort of experiences. You're not going to have all the negative humanity experiences. But at the same time, then you're going to miss out on the fun ones. So is it good? I don't know. Instead, the studio will deploy a similar release strategy for the next 12 months. In a surprising break from industry standards, Warner Brothers' entire 2021 slate. A list of films that includes The Matrix 4, the Dune remake, a musical adaptation of In the Heights, never heard of, a Sopranos prequel, The Many Saints of Newark, and The Suicide Squad. Well, the Suicide Squad one, I'm kind of, I mean, I know a lot of people are really, really excited for that one, but that would be the one I would kind of assume would be one of their, like, okay, we're going to do a big, maybe test the waters and see if we release that or not sort of thing, because look how well the Harley Quinn movie did. And that was because that movie was bad, though. That movie was terrible. But you know they're going to use the excuse that, oh yes, it came out right in January of 2020 as the excuse for why the Harley Quinn movie failed. That's not the only reason. The other release slates are Denzel Washington's thriller The Little Things, biographical drama Judas and the Black Messiah, a remake of the Tom and Jerry cartoons. I saw the trailer for that. They're just kind of cartoons in a live action world. I'm not too big of a fan of those sort of movies anyway. Godzilla vs. Kong, that one I probably would prefer to see on the big screen, but I am a bit of a Godzilla fan, as you guys know. It's not like I don't have a whole shelf dedicated to Godzilla figures behind me. And a video game adaptation of Mortal Kombat. Oh, the movie adaptation of the video game. I forgot they were remaking that one. Those Wish Me Dead, The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, Space Jam: A New Legacy, Reminiscence, and James Wan's Malignant, and sports drama King Richard. All right, so pretty much everything. Absolutely everything. Absolutely everything. I like the fact that you have the option, right? I think that's a really, really good compromise. I think that it's going to really, really hurt theaters. And a lot more people are going to choose to stay home as, you know, people. But then again, on your other hand, how many people really have a whole lot of disposable income to go and see a movie anyway? I think with everything that happened in the last year, I think a lot of people are going to be a lot more choosy with what they throw money at. And then if you do have the income level where you want to just get out and do something, will you be actually really quick to jump into the theater anyway? Because what if you're afraid? What if, you know, you don't want to, what if you're health compromised? What if you just don't trust other people around you are going to do what they need to do to keep you safe? You're going to stay home, right? Like Wonder Woman 84, the films that Warner Brothers plans to release in 2021 will be available to HBO Max subscribers for 31 days. After the 1-month mark, the movies will only play in theaters until they reach the traditional home entertainment frame. From there, people can rent through online platforms like Amazon, iTunes, or Fandango. It's unclear when titles will return to HBO Max, so it's just a limited time thing. With this unique one-year plan, we can support our partners in exhibition with a steady pipeline of world-class films. That's to be debated, while also giving moviegoers who may not have access to theaters or aren't quite ready to go back to the movies the chance to see our amazing 2021 films, she continued. We see it as a win-win for film lovers and exhibitors, and we're extremely grateful to our filmmaking partners for working with us on this innovative response under these circumstances. I do like having an option. I do not like having the, oh, only one side is correct and you can't have a compromise. I really dislike that about our modern day society. As a side note, take that however you wish. At least it's a compromise, but if the movie starts to buffer, what if your internet isn't very good? What if you are somebody who, I guess you're just going to miss out, right? Or wait until the home video release. That's kind of bad for the people who might have really, really crappy internet. They're in the middle of nowhere. A lot of people, I think, especially in like Europe or on the coasts, don't really realize how spread out the Midwest is, or just the flyover states, the middle of the country, you know? I live in Colorado. We're still pretty much spread out in the middle of nowhere. A lot of stuff is spread out unless you're like in the very heart of some of these bigger cities. But for most people, what if you don't have really good internet? What if your internet is like really, really old lines, even if you are in a very, very densely populated area? So that's gonna be a really bad issue with trying to stream everything. And you also have places like Comcast who are increasing their service plans or capping you. They will cap you now. I guess they realize that now that everybody's home and working from home, schooling from home, doing everything from home on their home computers, on their home internet lines. Well, now people are using more bandwidth at home, but they're not using them at work. So maybe they shouldn't be increasing the prices. Oh, wait, that's probably due to a tax increase, probably. I bet. Gee, that's about as much of a political statement as I want to make anyway. It's pretty much a lot of stuff we've already covered between any of the channels, if you're keeping up with the story at all. Which is just saying how the Universal decided to do the rental fees and all that good stuff. So I am going back to my live chat. Don't you guys go anywhere. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye!